Well, hello there, everyone. You might want to check to see if there's a voice delay, Billy.
Yeah, I'm checking to see if we're live.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, we are live.
is there a voice delay?
I don't think so.
Oh, check. Cool. This will be.
Alright, so we are live.
This is where the fun begins.
Where the fun begins. To quote the great Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we are here to talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, which are actually chapters 9 and 10, The Marshal and The Passenger. So what are your overall thoughts?
So first, we should probably start with this. Which is your favorite of those two?
Marshal, by a long shot.
I actually kind of liked. Well, I like them both a lot.
Oh yeah, I like them both a lot too, but I thought Marshal was better.
Yeah. Well, so one thing that I really liked about the Marshal was, was that I really liked Moss.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was pretty interesting to me because we don't often see these smaller settlements in Tatooine.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Mos Espa and Mos Eisley.
Right.
And now we get kind of we go back to Tatooine, but instead of trying to, play on our nostalgia, which they do again, but they also give us an expansion of the Tusken Raiders, an expansion of Tatooine. I think this is a much better episode than the previous Tatooine one in Season 1.
I would agree with that.
Which, I'm very happy about. This was a very good episode.
It was.
Also, this is the most we've
So,
ever seen of the Tusken Raiders.
And the Crate Dragon was awesome, by the way. But
the Crate Dragon was awesome. Also, this is much. I have a feeling this is higher budget than the first season. After saying the Crate Dragon thing,
it's definitely higher budget. It's one thing that I really did like with Passenger was kind of seeing that Cold War era New Republic.
Oh yeah, and I love the sequel references. I love when they played March of the Resistance when the X-Wings.
One thing that I also really liked was Dave Filoni in it.
Dave Filoni in an X-Wing.
Dave Filoni deserves an X-Wing at this point. I mean,
yeah. Also,
Wars,
I love
Rebels.
how they actually say "May the Force be with you" in it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and it's kind of cool when he just looks over and the wing opens on one of them, and then he looks over and the wing opens on another one.
Alright, so the first thing that I want to ask people who are viewing right now is, what was your favorite episode? So far, in all of the Mandalorian. And then we will move on to the really big topic of Boba Fett. But first, let's ask that question.
Yeah, spoiler warning, by the way, if you have not seen
that.
Because this is going to be just a full spoiler discussion.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of...
After Chapter 10, though, I had my first, legitimate criticism of The Mandalorian. And it's that this second season, the story of the second season, I don't feel like is progressing the way it should be. Because the first season very smoothly progressed its story. Where with this one, he's looking for more Mandalorians. He has a fun adventure in the first one, but that story does not progress by the end of that episode. And the story of him looking for more Mandalorians hasn't really progressed by the end of this episode either. Which that is not that big of a criticism, but it's just something I noticed.
I can agree with that. Hey, Rage Quit! The first episode... Yeah, this is, I believe, our first person from another country on our live stream. So hello, Rage Quit. The first episode is the best so far, but episode 2 was good too. I definitely would agree with that.
Or technically episode 10,
That's
chapter
true.
10.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not just saying season 2, chapter 1, or actually I wouldn't mind it either way, but that's just kind of cool. Baby Yoda is the cutest he's ever been in the most recent episode.
Except for that one little detail of eating the eggs.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that became somewhat of a obsession in the episode.
Yeah, I kept
just wanting to eat those.
I would always just cringe when he would pick one up and eat one. What the heck?
Yeah, and then the Mandalorian, I love when he it reminds me of how I act with my dog Luke Skywalker every once in a while. I'll just point a finger and go no, which is just that was so cute. But then Baby Yoda always has to run into the Mando's arms, and this one's so cute because he's like so scared. I love how it opens just with this like really cool fight scene. Like I said, the show benefits from being slower paced. A lot of sequel trilogy creatures.
You know,
showed up, which
and
was
one thing
cool.
that I've noticed that's kind of different about the Razor Crest is
Yeah.
it seems like a Star Wars ship, but it also kind of reminds me of just like riding in a car at night.
I know.
Yeah.
And also, like, oh my god, the Razor Crest just goes through so much damage in this most
I
recent
know
episode.
it has a yeah. I'm
It
in
falls through, like,
that also
ice,
kind of
and
explains that one
fighters, like,
trailer
just-
shot with the
Yeah.
broken Razor Crest, or might explain
and then
it.
him like fixing it. And like also like that first shot ever of the trailer, which was the broken Razor Crest.
Right.
Like I think that's gonna be the first shot of the next episode.
I agree with that.
And like some people say that planet that he's flying by looks like Navarro, so maybe we'll be getting to see Cara Dune and Grief Karga again, which I'm hoping for. Because I'm really hoping Cara Dune, Grief Karga, and Moff Gideon. I hope they don't just show up in like the final couple episodes.
Yeah.
Because Moff Gideon only showed up in like the final 2 episodes, and like he's so cool. Like he has the Darksaber, and
The
he's a really
only
cool villain.
so I think we should probably jump topics from here to Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, yeah.
So there are some people theorizing that he is actually a clone, and I have some evidence that he is not. Or well, he is a clone technically, but you know what I mean. And that's all the clones except for Boba Fett have rapid aging.
Yeah.
So they would all
Yeah, so,
most
like,
likely be
he's-
dead at that point, or at
Yeah.
least very, very old.
Or
but-
very old, like Rex.
right.
Also,
But-
like,
That makes sense for his age.
why else would this person be watching the Mando who's carrying Boba Fett's armor on the back of his speeder?
Right. And the other
And-
thing is, they wouldn't bring in Tamora Morrison just to have a clone trooper.
No.
Like clearly, if they're gonna bring him in, they'll bring him in for Boba Fett.
Obviously, and also like Boba Fett, I think is somewhat of wasted potential. Like, I don't think
In
like
the movies, he is.
in the movies he is. In the shows, he's given a little bit more depth. I'm not a huge fan of Kid Boba Fett in the movies, but in the shows, he's pretty good.
Well,
But now, like
that
they're
was a
gonna-
little too far in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when there was that shot of them in the it was the asteroid field above Geonosis. Yeah, it was like a "Yeah, Dad, kill him" type scene. And,
Yeah, and then he goes fire.
yeah,
I'm losing my
fire.
voice. Like I got the
Yeah, they went a bit too far there. Although, still, the cheesiest moment in all of Star Wars is a feeling. That's the cheesiest moment in all of Star Wars.
No, I don't think so. It might be that one Boba Fett thing. It might be one of the Anakin and Padme romance moments, but that's a
I still
topic
think
for another time.
a feeling, but yeah, that's a conversation for a different time.
Yeah, Boba Fett, what he would be doing. Is Mando going back to Tatooine? Like, or is this just a tease? Because, like,
Yeah,
if they just
I think-
show him...
I think so. One thing that I also like about the Mandalorian is it kind of seems to be a live action, almost a live action end to all of the animated shows. So in some ways,
Yeah.
it kind of is the Rebels sequel series.
Yeah, I mean, it'll tie in... I mean, Ahsoka's going to show up at some point, which
Right.
we're all very excited for.
And the other thing, one thing that I'm really hoping to see is, so far the Mandalorian has been really focused on this new era of Mandalorians, when I think what they should be more focused on is, or what they should make reference to more, is a Clone Wars, Duchess Satine era Mandalore. I think that's something that they should definitely make reference to, which
That would
they
be
haven't
cool.
much.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They talk about Death Watch and stuff, because that was...
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're going to have the Darksaber. So.
Right. So that's... which, of course,
Now, like, there's
well, I'm not
rumors
going
of
to...
Captain Rex
spoil-
showing up. There's rumors of...
Of who
Bo-Katan
showing up?
Captain Rex and Bo-Katan from
Bo-Katan?
Season 7. And who had the Darksaber in Rebels.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she did. She was, I believe she was Satine's sister.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
And, yeah, she was.
The Duchess.
So, like, they might be showing up. Like I said, rumors haven't
Right.
really hit or miss.
I don't really believe rumors at all. Especially when it
No,
comes
I
to
mean-
Star Wars.
They've they've really rarely ever been true.
Mm.
But like I just said, like that would be cool if those characters showed up. It's confirmed Ahsoka's showing up. We know Boba Fett's showing up now.
Right. He already has.
He has, which is great. So just getting like email notifications. Also, I don't know if the Mandalorian's gonna get any more modifications to like his suit or something. Like maybe he'll get that thing that like some of those Mandalorians have. That's, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's something.
Also, like, honestly, Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter is so cool. I still got this TIE Fighter here, but like the wings like fold for Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. And like we're seeing more of those in season 2.
That makes
We're
sense.
seeing a whole bunch.
So
like,
I think
honestly, I think some of the brilliance of season 1 is they somehow made a final battle where they're just trying to take on one TIE Fighter, a really intense final battle.
Yeah, I think one thing that people are forgetting is that right now the First Order doesn't exist, but the Imperial Remnant exists, and these are basically Imperial Remnant
well, actually, the
proxy
First
forces.
Order is
What?
just barely starting to take shape. Like
right, the
Imperial
First
Remnant
Order is
exists.
right. Well, I mean, part of it is the Imperial Remnant does eventually, in some ways, become the First Order.
I know some. Yeah, it does. So, I mean, and Jon Favreau has expressed interest, who directed Mandalorian, has expressed interest in showing that at some point in the series.
I would want to see that for sure.
So, I mean, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool.
And that will bring us to connecting.
Oh, we got the helmet.
Doesn't balance properly. They'll connect.
We got Kylo Ren right here.
Yep.
Which was in the previous live stream.
This is, by the way,
props for Ren.
This right here is going to be used in Ren, and so is this. These are both.
And so is this. Just kidding. This is not being used in Ren. This is a toy case.
Well, I would hope not.
Yeah, that would just be weird.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be high enough quality. I'm just guessing it wouldn't.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. Got a whole bunch of Black Series figures over here. Most of them somewhat Mandalorian related. Like I got the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Even though Boba Fett looks different in season 2, which is cool. Like when I first saw the Marshal, episode 9, I'm like, when they showed that guy who's like in Boba Fett armor, I'm like, oh, Boba Fett.
I did not think that it was Boba Fett because.
Takes off his
honestly,
helmet, and then I go, oh wait, it's not Boba Fett. And that turned out to be a really cool character though. And then of course at the end of the episode, you get
right.
Boba Fett. And he became the big talk of the series right now.
I just got a notification too from the Gold Man.
Oh nice. Notice. Did he just upload?
No, I think it was some person responded to my comment. But all right.
Oh, okay.
Moving back to the Mandalorian. Have they revealed how many seasons they'll have yet?
Here's the thing. I think 4.
You think 4?
Because the next Star Wars movie is coming out a year after the 4th season would come out, and I don't think they'd want the final season to be the year the next Star Wars movie comes.
That makes sense.
Honestly, the next Star Wars movie, it was announced, like, before Rise of Skywalker came out, it was announced the next Star Wars movie would be 2022. But now, because of COVID, it got moved to 2023.
Yeah, I'll bet it's going to be... I'll bet that's delayed a bit. I mean, it should be.
It got delayed to 2023. But season 3 of The Mandalorian doesn't seem to be going through any issues. It's filming.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay, so they confirmed season 3. The actor of Moff Gideon, kind of just casually, George Lucas style, just revealed season 4 in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
George
Lucas.
Casually did. So, and like, because he said there's something that's going to be further expanded in seasons 3 and 4. So we know there's going to be 4 seasons at least. And I think that's as long as it's going to go. It could go longer, but I'm saying that's like what some people are guessing. That's what I'm guessing too. It's probably going to go for 4 seasons, which is pretty good. The show's been an absolute hit, so why not end it when it's like at the height of its popularity?
Right. That's definitely
like
better than letting it run until it's bad. That's what
they were going to do with SpongeBob. They were going to have the first 3 seasons and then a movie, and then end it. But then Nickelodeon, since SpongeBob was making so money, made them go so long with it. Like, it's still going on. Like, I'm still enjoying it, but like it was against the wish of the original creator, Steven Hillenburg, to continue SpongeBob.
Yeah, that kind of thing happens with everything.
Yeah.
But
which is, kind of sad, but
I don't think that's going to happen with Star Wars, though.
That's not going to happen with Star Wars.
Speaking of this, and this is kind of jumping topics, there's, you know how there's so much, or it's definitely dying down quite a bit, but all of that hatred in the Star Wars fandom right now, it's...
Yeah, the whole debate stuff with, like, oh, this trilogy is better than this one, or this one is better than this one, or this one is the far superior one.
And that kind of does bring up that whole, nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, but that really isn't true. Yeah. Because they're debating it because everybody loves Star Wars so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, and clearly
they're very passionate about
Star
it.
Wars.
Like, they're a very passionate original trilogy fan. Actually, all of us are original trilogy fans. But
it's
they're
true.
Very passionate prequel trilogy fans. They're very passionate sequel trilogy fans.
You know, the funny thing is,
and now, of course,
we're all big Star Wars fans, though. Like,
at the end of the day, we're all Star Wars fans.
Like, that's the weird thing. Like, the people who are the most angry about Star Wars right now are the biggest Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the importance of The Mandalorian, because that's something there isn't too much debate over The Mandalorian. Most people like it.
No. Most people, like, actually love it.
Right.
Baby Yoda. Like, how can you not love Baby Yoda?
Everybody loves Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Like I said, everyone loves Raymond. Everyone loves Baby Yoda. But I really do think that the Mandalorian is my favorite show of all time. I
don't think that it's as good as the Clone Wars. Or Rebels.
But
I still really love it.
I've never been so invested in a series. To where, like, I'm like, okay, I need to see the next episode. And all series have at least, like, one bad episode or just not so great episode. Mandalorian so far, it's lows. The lows of The Mandalorian are just, like, meh. Like, there's no bad episodes in The Mandalorian. And that's something
true.
I cannot say for any of the other Star Wars series. And the fact that it's less
Star Wars
episodes
series.
tell a more consistent story.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, one thing with the Clone Wars, and particularly Rebels, is they have... Most of the episodes are really, really good. But when they have a bad episode, it's terrible.
Rebels towards the end, like with the talking wolves.
Yeah, that was... They went way too far with the wolves. The wolves, I did not like World Between Worlds either. That was too far.
Worlds. I am going to make a video just talking about what Palpatine's plan was in Rebels, even though I'm not a fan of... It is what it is. It's part of the Star Wars lore. It's canon. So,
yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm not, like, going to say Star Wars is ruined because they put time travel in. I'm glad Ahsoka's alive. She's just going to be in The Mandalorian now. I have been watching more of the Clone Wars. I got to Season 5. I am really loving the Clone Wars also.
I'm surprised you really need to see Season 6. Season 6 is the best season by far.
I'm hearing from most people it's Season 7, which is weird because...
Yeah.
Like, Season 7 got so much praise, but it's... Whenever you hear people talking about it, it's the last 4 episodes.
Right. The last 4 episodes were good.
You never hear people talk about the other arcs that were not that great.
No. It's... Like, I still think Season 6 is the best, especially for that episode where Yoda goes to Moraband.
But then I'm hearing from other people that, like, Episode 5 or Season 5 is the second best. And I've seen Season 5 so far. I really like it. Like, Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Darth Maul is great.
Now, we should get back to The Mandalorian now.
Yes, we should.
So...
Because, that's...
Right. What's one thing that you would like to see in The Mandalorian?
Judging by the trailers or just in general. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad it's not connecting... Well, it is connecting to the main films, but not in a way that disservices the story, which I really like, and I just want it to stay that way.
Right.
Like, if they're showing first order origins of it, I don't want much of that, and that's coming from a sequel fan. I want them to maybe have little hints here and there, but do not disservice the story just to try to explain something else. Like Solo that was I got the Solo Millennium Falcon here, which is actually really cool.
I think the biggest mistake of Solo,
they tried to answer everything.
Right, was
and Han Solo's name.
Right, there was no need for that. Han Solo's name. There was no need to have I have a bad feeling about this, but I have a really good feeling about this. There was no reason.
I like the Kessel Run.
Mm-hmm.
I like the train heist.
So they have all those references, all those explanations, yet they forget to put C-3PO and R2-D2 in it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of...
I think you have to at a certain point.
Rogue One did that just for...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Daniels was in it, but... maybe...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll do a...
Fun fact.
Maybe I'll do a, like, we did things we didn't know about the originals. We're going to do that for the prequels and sequels. I might do it for the spin-offs as well, because I don't think many people know.
Yeah.
That,
Fun fact, Billy's in quarantine right now.
Yeah, I am in quarantine right now. But, you know, that luckily won't hurt the live stream, so...
Right.
That's good. And, like, but yeah, I may also do things you didn't know about the Mandalorian. And things you didn't know about or just things you didn't know about the shows in general, because...
I think that we should do a separate one for the Mandalorian and for the animated series.
Oh, yeah. I don't like talking about Resistance too much. That was a disappointment, in my opinion.
Star Wars Resistance was a disgrace to the Star Wars franchise.
I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say it...
Forces of Destiny
should have been way better, because everyone was excited when they heard about it. We're getting a show about the Resistance. That's going to be so cool. And then the trailer comes out, and it's not about the Resistance. That's the biggest... that's my biggest problem with it, in my opinion. That it's just...
The Mandalorian cannot be a story that connects too much with the Skywalker saga, but Resistance has to be, and it wasn't.
Here's the thing. Just call it Star Wars Colossus, and I'll like it a lot better. And then make a show about the actual Resistance. Because
I think they should make a live-action show about the Rebels versus the Empire, about the Galactic Civil War.
Oh, that would be cool, actually.
I think a live-action TV show about that.
We could be getting something like that, because...
You know what they really should do? A Star Wars TV show about the end of the Galactic Civil War. So it would end right with Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and go for like that final year up until the Battle of Jakku, where the final episode is the Battle of Jakku.
You know what? That would be cool, actually.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool, actually.
We could totally do a fan series about that, by the way.
We could.
Let's do it.
If you guys want, tell us in the comments if you want us to make a series like that. Do you want us to announce some of our future projects, or because Ren isn't just it?
No, we have some pretty good concepts for some other ones.
We have a series in development.
Mm-hmm.
Want to reveal that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Star Wars Surviving Jedi, about Jedi who are surviving Order 66.
The basic storyline of that is that it will start with two Jedi, a master and his apprentice, and then it will eventually continue on, and they'll meet others, and then that's where the story will really start to unfold.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like a survival thriller, with them trying to survive the Empire, but as Jedi. We're starting script writing a tiny bit. Right now we're focusing almost 100% of our efforts on Ren, though.
Right.
We also have another Star Wars fan film.
Right. Funny thing.
That happens.
We would have been filming this weekend, but we have a quick. Let's just say we have a 14-day break from filming.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But wait, what was it? Oh yeah, but this fan film that happens after episode 9, but it does not focus on the episode. It focuses on a First Order stormtrooper who has to deal with the collapse of the First Order. Who has to deal with...
And that's not going to be a series. That's just going to be a pretty short but really good Star Wars fan film.
Yeah, and I've started scripting for it, and so far the Star Wars fan film sounds really interesting, actually.
But
it was just a concept that popped into my head.
But obviously the first thing is Ren. So that's
first priority is Ren.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're doing very little with the other ones until Ren is pretty much done.
Yeah.
We know there are a lot of you guys out there who are subscribed, and A lot of that is because of anticipation for Ren, a Star Wars story, and we are doing everything in our power to deliver the fan film that, you know,
Yeah,
the best fan film we possibly can make.
It's insane how many people we have working on this thing.
And like we did a Blender tutorial. We're working on special effects.
Yeah.
A
Quick shout out to Rage
great-
Quit Productions.
Yeah.
He is helping. He's actually already done some voice acting for it. So thanks,
And
Rage
we've
Quit.
got a great cast of characters.
Yes, we do.
We've got a very passionate cast who loves Star Wars.
Mhm.
And me and him are directing it. We wrote it actually nearly 2 years ago. Like it was in 2018 before this channel started.
Yeah.
Fall of 2018 that we began script writing. The first draft of the script, though.
Oh man.
Needed some work. It needed some work.
One thing, we were considering a title change to Death Sticks: A Star Wars Story because of the insane focus on death sticks throughout the entire movie.
Fun fact, we are not having any death stick references at all in the movie.
There will be no death sticks.
Yeah,
But yeah, we were going to have the main character be a death sticks addict.
Yeah, but
and
like,
also be
like the final
13
battle
years
was
old.
kind of a mess. Like, it was just a mess. At first, the script was, but
I'm glad we're undoing that a little bit.
We almost completely rewrote it.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, is it actually really good?
It is. And
we've
we're
had
still
so
making
many
script changes
rewrites.
from
We're
time to
still-
time, but
We're still making tweaks, but we have a solid script
we do.
for what we think is, and kind of go down as maybe our best fan film, or just a great Star Wars fan film.
Yeah.
Because it is a...
It's going to be up there with Maul Apprentice, Bucketheads, Vader Shards of the Past. It's going to be one of those.
Have you seen a fan film where like Kylo has a vision of Vader? It's so cool. It came out like
Yes,
2019.
I saw it.
And of course, there is the most viewed Star Wars fan film ever, which is the Vader versus Obi-Wan reimagined, which is amazing.
That's a good one.
That's the most popular one of all time. That one is so good. My favorite's Shards of the Past, though.
Right. Vader Shards of the Past is amazing.
It is just... I mean, it's exposition, but that's because budget constraints, I understand.
Right.
They want it to be, like, really, really, really high budget. So they're going to split it. I think episode 2 is supposed to come out this year. But
it's going to be 3 episodes next year.
It's going to be next year now because of obvious reasons.
Yeah, he can't get to the United States because he's in Canada.
2020 has been a weird year. 2020 has been such a weird year, but at least we got Clone Wars Season 7. We got the entire Skywalker saga on Disney Plus, and now we've got the Mandalorian.
And at least we have Star Wars nerdiness.
and we're still, every Wednesday and Sunday, making a video for Star Wars nerdiness, which is, just great. And Ren, a Star Wars story, this is something I'm going to try to do. I've tried to put this into the script. I'm trying to put at least one reference to every single movie and show. And
except for Forces of Destiny.
Well, Forces of Destiny is... No. But, but Force of Destiny, I mean, that's supposed to be just for, like, it's supposed to get little girls into Star Wars. The main character, like, that came in 2017 before Last Jedi came out. And, like, little girls were already into Star Wars before Forces of Destiny, so...
Right. I mean...
I don't know.
We have
really
plenty of female characters in Star Wars.
I've watched one episode of it.
Right. I mean, one thing that people are forgetting is, like, we have female characters in Star Wars right now.
Yeah, like, it's...
We have them in... Right, it wouldn't be a very good trilogy or a very good saga if there were no female characters. Because that wouldn't make any sense.
Each trilogy has at least one female character who plays a prominent
Male
role.
Side of Dathomir, a Star Wars story.
Oh, that would be funny. I know I sidetracked a bit, but back to Mandalorian. So far, like I said, I am really enjoying the second season. I think I am going to say I prefer the start to the first season just a tiny bit more, because a pilot is so hard to make, and it's still one of the best episodes in my opinion. Like you have to establish the tone of the series, the characters,
There's one other Star Wars project that I think we should make on the channel. A comedy Star Wars series.
We are. Oh wait, do you want to talk about our cartoon series that we're doing?
Or what?
Star Wars nerds.
Oh yeah. So we've been planning this out
came
for.
Up with in 5th grade.
Yeah, let's just say we've been planning this out for a very long time.
And it is very funny. We have a lot of cool characters or funny characters.
We have scripts that we thought were great when we were 5th graders.
Retellings of our misadventures in elementary school and middle school. And it's very Star Wars themed as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny.
It will.
I hope you guys enjoy that. We are also, but yeah, I just want to talk about there are not many pilots in series. There's great series. Like Rebel,
great series.
Had a pretty good
series
pilot.
is plural for series.
Yeah. Clone Wars had a pretty good pilot. Rebels did not have a good pilot. Resistance had an actually surprisingly decent pilot. Mandalorian had a amazing pilot episode in my opinion. It established the Mandalorian covert, the Bounty Hunters Guild, our main character, and it's a very good visual storytelling. I love that we're just seeing a person in the Star Wars galaxy. He's not related to Boba Fett or anyone in the Star Wars galaxy. We're just seeing someone in the Star Wars galaxy going through their daily routine in the first episode. I think that's just cool. I mean, in the world of Star Wars and the underworld, a new type of underworld, technically, because we haven't seen much of post Return of the Jedi underworld.
That's true. We haven't seen much of post Return of the Jedi anything, honestly.
Except, the sequel trilogy happens in its own era.
Right. That's why it's
years after.
Right. The sequel era is very different than the late original trilogy era.
Yeah, because the sequels happen years after the originals, so they're technically not post Return of the Jedi. They're actually, I mean they are, but not right after Return of the Jedi.
You know.
But the Mandalorian is 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which I think is after the Battle of Jakku.
It's
I
what?
believe.
It's the Battle of Jakku was 1 year after Return of the Jedi.
Because the Empire is gone.
Yeah.
According to Grief Karga, but then it's not. There's the Imperial Remnant that's taken over some things like the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Well, and that's not something that the Imperial Remnant is supposed to do. The Imperial Remnant is not supposed to invade any other governments in the Star Wars galaxy, but they can grow their military as an emergency defense.
I mean,
Japan.
The Imperial Remnant are the bad guys. So, I mean, they will do things that are probably not exactly legal for them to do.
Right.
Which, is just classic Imperial Remnant. And I'm Moff Gideon again with the Darksaber.
Right.
I'm going with the Darksaber thing. I don't think he will be the one dueling Ahsoka. Or if Ahsoka duels, I know it's going to be lightsaber action in this, but let's be honest.
I want to see... So this is what I really want to see in The Mandalorian, and that is Luke Skywalker. I think they have a perfect opportunity for a Luke Skywalker cameo, and I want that.
But I think if they do that, they should wait for maybe a little bit later in the series for when he's
I think third season is a great time for a Luke Skywalker cameo. Not second season yet, because we still need to learn more about Baby Yoda, and that's what the second season should be. And more about the Mandalorians and kind of leading up to a third season where things really come together. We maybe see Luke Skywalker, we maybe see the New Jedi Order, maybe Ben Solo. And then fourth season kind of wraps up the whole thing.
How many years after Return of the Jedi has Ben Solo born?
You know what I think the fourth season should be? Or, I changed my mind on saying that there should be no Star Wars content after The Rise of Skywalker. I think that the final episode of The Mandalorian should include an epilogue that takes place with a very old Din Djarin that, of course, takes place after The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I mean, the Mandalorian was in, or the Razor Crest was in the Battle of Exegol.
Right.
He was in the, so, I mean, he fought in the Battle of Exegol, so, he's alive, or at least his ship's around.
Mm-hmm.
And, so that would be really cool, though, if we do get to see a Luke Skywalker cameo. Especially since my favorite Luke is Return of the Jedi Luke, and this would be
I
not
agree.
too long after Return of the Jedi. Jedi Master Luke, pretty much, I think, in his prime. He was really
I
powerful in
100%
The Last
agree
Jedi.
with you there.
He was really powerful once he opened himself up back to the Force in The Last
But
Jedi.
that was such a brief
But I
period of
still think,
time. And still, I think he was still at his most powerful when he was young enough that he was still just naturally, strong,
I think
but also highly
Return
force
of the
sensitive.
Jedi Luke, or I think Luke after Return of the Jedi, or a couple of years after Return of the Jedi, might be Luke at his most powerful.
1 year after the Battle of Jakku. The Battle of Jakku, Luke Skywalker is extremely powerful.
Yeah, and that's really cool. So we could see Luke, and I'm wondering if we're maybe going to see Palpatine.
I hope we see Palpatine.
That sounds a little far-fetched, but as we stated in our theory about Baby Yoda, I actually believe that Palpatine is maybe behind the full fact for them wanting Baby Yoda.
Palpatine is always behind everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of his character.
I think Moff Gideon's answering to Palpatine. I definitely think that's what's going on. The fact that they want to clone Baby Yoda, judging by Dr. Parsham's jacket, and just judging by all that, I definitely think. But why would Moff Gideon want a whole army of Force-sensitive beings? Because we know that species is really Force-sensitive.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's answering to Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine would want a Force-sensitive army. And, yeah, I mean, the Emperor is right now, I think, on Exegol.
Mm-hmm.
But, we could possibly see, hologram messages.
Well, right now, we have not gotten too many comments from people watching, so if you are watching right now... Then...
So, it's not exactly or doing as well as our previous live stream.
Well, this is a very unexpected stream.
Yeah.
We were originally thinking 9.
We just know that Mandalorian just came out. It's a lot of people are talking about it, just like they were when the first season came out. So we thought we should probably give our thoughts on the first season.
Right. It's good that we are, too.
And it's great that we are, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate, for all you that are watching, I really appreciate the support you give to the channel.
I agree.
To the fans.
We're up to 114 subscribers.
That is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Over 100 subscribers. Yeah.
So thank you to each and every subscriber. And any viewer, really. Anybody watching this video.
That just makes me so happy when there are, just the day we wanted to hit over 100 subs before the 1 year anniversary, and we did. We made our goal. We actually made over our goal. And I'm just I mean, that was just great. Now we've got 114 subscribers. I'm hoping we get 200 subscribers before the end of next year.
I'm hoping we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. That's my next goal.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess we could. I mean, we could do maybe I know some people do road to 1,000 or road to 100. So maybe let's try. I mean,
try not, do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah,
we will get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. However, we have to make it happen. It will happen.
All right, that would be actually great, though. But to all the people who are subscribed right now, just thank you so much. It is great that we have so much support. That Round of Star Wars Story has so much support. That there's a lot of anticipation for it. And
I can see this.
Subtitles.
Oh yeah. That
over
one.
4,000 views for Porks with subtitles. That is just great. I love that so much. Thank you. We're almost to 5,000 views on that video.
Yeah.
And Pork Subtitles Part 2 is almost to 1,000, which is good. And then the Run trailer is at 800 views, which is great.
Yeah. I can definitely see this stream starting to wrap up around now. So,
definitely.
Yeah. So everyone who's watching, thank you. If
also,
you are not watching it right now, then make sure to watch it later. Well, if you're seeing this, you already are. But
yeah. But again, thank you to everyone who are watching right now, and thank you to everyone who are subscribed. May the Force be with you. This is the way.
Yes. See you.
Force be with you.